Alright, good evening. COM103. So let's take a look at lab 33. We're adding IV compounds. So we got to do a little bit of math, but it's easy. It's just going to be order over supply or order over supply times the amount. Nothing too extravagant. So review these two items. If you need help on the math, let me know. And then if you open up, download the hints. I deciphered all of the handwritten orders for you, institution orders. So here's the hints. So starting with page 199, that's the one in the lab, and then the exercise follow afterward, page 200 and so forth, the 9 additional ones. So have that open while you're working on it. All right, so we're gonna go into drugs. And what we're going to make is an IV. So most of the time, drugs, we're not going to inject directly into a patient's veins. We're not going to give it to him with a needle and syringe in the veins. We're going to take the stock bottle, whatever it is, it has its own strength. We only take out the amount we need and we deliver it into the IV solution. Right? So that kind of dilutes it down. And then this entire bag is our final product, and that's what will spike and then infuse into the patient. So the hard concept is the supply. So we don't need to use the whole bottle, but we have to select the correct supply. And then what's real important is the quantity we calculate, which is just order over supply or order over supply times the amount. So we're only delivering that quantity into the IV solution. So these are common, D5 and NS. Common sizes, like 50 mLs, 100 mLs, 250. So that IV bag size is also our package size, because that's the final container. Right? So we have to select the correct solution, but also the correct bag size. For the stock, it doesn't matter. We can have a swimming pool size, but we're not using the swimming pool size. We're just going to use the quantity we need. All right, so let's go on to page 195. So in the drug tab, we're just going to do new. So all of these are going to be new IVs. So just be careful where you put the label name. So again, it's not the one that's highlighted. It's the one to the right. So on this space, you want to just type in D5W Van 50. D5W Van 50. So it doesn't tell us too much. So I'm going to modify it a little bit. So yes, it's D5W. But what's the volume? Yeah, let's add in 250. 250 mLs slash vancomycin 500 milligrams. And this is going to be IV at, what was it? IV at 125 mLs. Okay, so whatever can fit. So that's going to give us a better description of the exact thing. So it's a D5W bag, that's 250 mLs. Inside it, we put 500 milligrams of Vanco. Right? Infuse at 125 mLs per hour. We'll use the quick code given, D5 Van 500, D5 Van 500. So that's step 7 on page 195. No alchemy code given. Then we'll just go to drug class, which is RX. So a lot of this information is going to be the same. It's the default label information. Item type, compound. That way you can add ingredients into your compound tab. Both genders, generic, default sig. And here the label helps us out. So I modify the label name to give us more information.
What's the drug class?
Drug class is going to be RX. So default sig, we're going to infuse IV at 125 mLs per hour. So that's all we need on the sig. The drug information amount, that'll be all on the label. So infuse intravenously, or IV, at 125 mLs per hour. Form here, let's go ahead and add in the form. It's an IV. The strength is for the Vanco strength, which was 500 milligrams of vancomycin. And for these two units, for all these IVs, just leave them as mLs. Don't worry about the units where they might be grams or milligrams or vials. Just change them all to mLs to make our lives easier. Final bag size. This final bag size, step 14 on page 196, is 250. So the vancomycin, we're going to use the supply, but the IV bag, we have to have the exact size, 250. The lab wants 14 days to expire, and it looks like there is no mass dose. So we already did step 16 on page 196. That was the default sig. Infuse IV at 125 mLs. All right, so we're done. You don't need any print screens right now. Just go ahead and save it, and then it'll activate our ingredient tab. Let's go ahead and push save. And now where you want to go is in the ingredient tab, just like Judy's anti-wrinkle cream or Anna's anti-wrinkle cream. So the new here, down in the lower right, and then we're going to enter in the first ingredient. So the first ingredient is on page 197, step 18. So the drug they want, or the ingredient they want, is the bag. So this one's very important. We have to get the correct package size. We need the 250 mLs. So they say DEX for dextrose, and then you'll need to scroll down to the correct type. So we want 5% 250. So in the strength column, it needs to be 5%. The form needs to be IV solution, not a bag or irrigation, and the package size must be 250. All right, we got a couple choices here. Scroll more towards the bottom. So here we got D5W. It's in an Excel container. That's fine. So it's 5% 250. And then you got another one that's just a generic dextrose, 5% water, IV solution, 250 piggyback. Okay. So once you located dextrose, 250 IV or piggyback, and 5%, go ahead and click OK. You must have an NDC number. So what I do now is I'll push enter to make sure that I get an NDC number. We're going to use the whole bag, which is 250 mLs, step 21. And then we can go ahead and save it. Right, so that's the first ingredient. Dextrose, 5% water. So if you didn't put the quantity in, you can change it here to 250. So if you forgot to put the quantity, just change it here. So that's the first ingredient. We're now going to add in the drug. So if you guys recall, we got D5W for the solution, and it was 250 mLs. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get the drug, we're going to select the stock bottle, and then it's the quantity that's important that we add into the IV solution. So we're going to use order over supply. Sometimes there's no math. So
is this the piggyback one?
IVs, yeah.
The dextrose 5% water IV solution, 250, but the form is the IV solution, or
Yeah.
could be that form?
Well, this is the label for the final drug product. So this is your final compound. So think about what your final product's going to be. So for our final product, it's a IV product. So think of the final, once you mix everything together. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I feel like it don't.
And then the ingredient you're using down here is the bag, the IV solution. Right, so this is what we infuse into the patient's arm. Right? We're not going to drop this drug into a syringe and inject them. We're going to put it into an IV bag and then infuse it. IV or IV piggyback. Right?
Okay.
So, since the IV bag is the final container, you must select the correct manufactured product. So that's the first ingredient we got. The next ingredient is going to be the drug. We got to find the correct stock container and then figure out how much to enter into this IV solution before we can infuse it into the patient. All right, so on page 197, we're on step 23. We're doing our next ingredient. So do new. This time our ingredient is vancomycin. And they want us to use the 500 ml vial. Right? So my vancomycin 500 milligram vial does not have an NDC, but that's okay. Just select it, and then you're going to use the correct NDC, or select an NDC number. So here there's no NDC number. Just make sure you push enter. Here it's still blank, but once you push enter again, it's going to bring up a list of available NDCs. So any of these are fine as long as there's an NDC number. So these are alternative sizes. Either one's fine. Select OK. And the quantity they want us to use is 10 mLs. Step 24. Alright. Go ahead and save it. And then that's it. You don't have to save the entire label anymore, and the ingredients are on here. So that's all you have to print screen is this tab. So print screen and you're done. So let me walk around and answer some questions before we go on.
Your strength, you put 500, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, final product info. Final product.
Where's that?
Right. So your formula for IV strength here, I put 500 milligrams.
Does it matter that the drug NDC for this one is different than what the book says?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
As long as it's the correct product. All right, not too bad. So that is the first one. Now make sure you have the hints available. So these are the hints. So the one we just did was page 199, and I modified it a little bit from the original. So we added in the solution, dextrose 5%. We got the correct package size, 250, and then the drug, 500 milligram vial, and we delivered 10 mLs. So if we go back to our image, our stock vial contained 500 milligrams of drug, and the quantity that we entered was 10 mLs. So from this stock bottle, I drew out 10 mLs and I put it into the IV solution. Then it's mixed, then we infuse it into the patient. Right? So this label represents the final product. Down here are the ingredients you use. So the bag size is the final product, so the package size is always the bag size. And then the last thing is the drug that entered. So 10 mLs of this stock. Now this label represents the final compound. All right, let's go on to page 201. If you take a look at the physician orders, you'll see that there is 3 drug orders. So the first one is just an IV solution, normal saline, 1,000. Second one is an antibiotic, Zosyn, combination antibiotic. And the third one is another antibiotic. So let's enter these guys in. So this first one is just IV solution. So you'll do new, and then whatever it is in bold, you're going to enter it in the label name.
Not tracking. Not following along. Where are you?
On page 201, NS. So whatever's in bold, just enter that whole thing in. NS, you can do 1 liter. NS 1 liter at 75 mLs per hour. NS 1 liter IV at 75 mLs per hour. Quick code, anything that represents the label name. So this one's easy. NS 1 liter, sounds pretty good. NS 1 liter, that's all it is. No product alchemy ID. Drug class is RX. Item type, compound. Both genders, generic. Default SIG. So it's IV. So in the title name of all of these prescriptions, it'll tell you what the SIG should be. Right? So the routes in the name for you. So since it's IV, we're going to infuse. IV at 75 mLs per hour. An H. Okay, there you go. Infuse IV at 75 mLs per hour. Dosage form, it's IV. Strength, there is none, but technically normal saline is 0.9%, so we can put 0.9%. mLs, we'll just leave it mLs. And the final package size, 1 liter, right? So it's 1,000. The final container is the package size. Days to expire, we can just put 1 on these now. And I think that's it. All right, everything else is good. Double check your default. So you got label name, quick code, drug class, compound, both genders generic, default SIG, infuse at 75 mLs per hour, IV, NS is 0.9%, ml, and the final package size is 1,000. All right, save it. That way you have the compound ingredient tab activated. All right, let's go back to your cheat sheet. Your cheat sheet says, let's add in the drug. So we're just going to use the vial, Zosyn 3.375 gram vial. So we'll just type in Zosyn, Z-O-S. Spell it again. Z-O-S. Forgot the O. Z-O-S-Y. No? Zosyn? Do you guys have Zosyn?
It says Zotavex.
Let's see. So we don't have Zosyn. Let's try the generic name. P-I-R. Piperacillin tazobactam is the drug name. Let's see what it's under.
You said PIR, right?
Yeah. P-I-R? No. Let's look it up. it should be propercillin. Yeah, PIP. No, it's not in here. Propercillin. Let me try to run it under my admin. No, this should be okay. PIP. No, don't have it. Let's try under the other generic, tazobactam. No, it's not under that name either. TAZO. Alright, that's weird. Do you guys have it in your system?
What was the last one you described?
Tazobactam? TAZO? Oh, it's not in there.
Azaran,
Yeah.
as far as it goes.
Hate to have to add every drug.
System's fake with the matrix, it's all a lie.
No. Alright, let's cancel. Let's go to the next one. Alright, let's add in the, at least let's add in the IV solution. Alright, so let's go ingredient. The second ingredient is sodium chloride, 50 ml bag, so NS50. So let's look under sodium. Sodium, and in this column it should be 0.9, IV, and 50. 0.9.
What is the second solution about?
Sodium chloride.
Sodium chloride, 0.9. Oh, okay, here it is. Here's the solution. So we got sodium chloride, 50 ml bag, 0.9. So we'll use the whole 50 mLs. Okay, so that's it for this one. Don't worry about the Zosin. I'll check. We might have to add that one. So just print screen this one for the first one. And for the second one. And then let's go to metronidazole.
You said print screen?
Yeah, so I'm gonna print screen this one. Alright, let's go to this one here. So this one, the metronidazole, there is a premix version available. So let's go ahead and add in the premix. So label name, we'll enter that in, metronidazole 500 milligrams. You can use the brand name if it doesn't all fit. So flagyl 500 milligrams, IV PB every 12H. Flagyl, oh, wrong side.
I'm sorry, is it the 500 milligram, 800 milliliter bag?
I'll bring it up. I'm not there. Let me take a look at it. It's gonna be the 100 ml bag.
Okay.
500 milligrams. Yeah, I lost my memory. IV PB every 12H. Q12H. All right, quick code. You can do flagyl 500.
So wait, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This is a whole new drug. This isn't another, is that the solution? Another ingredient?
Yeah, this is a brand new drug. So there's 3 different drugs on here. So each name is a new drug. Alright, so we're on metronidazole 500. we just entered in the name. And for the quick code, just put Flaggy 50, Flagell 500. That's better. Flagell 500. So the quick code just represents the label name. Flaggy 500. Drug class is the same. It's just going to be RX. Item type compound.
That's the label name's like Q12M.
Q12H. All that information is here on your cheat sheet. So open up the file and it'll help you out. It's all right here for you. And then your quick code is just whatever represents your label name. So I put Flaggy 500. Looks like Flagell 500. All right, RX compound, both genders, generic. Since it's IVPB, we'll put infuse, IVPB, and it just says Q12H. Doesn't tell us the rate. So Q12H. Infuse, intravenous piggyback, Q12H. IV is, this one's IVPB. That's the form of the final product. The strength is 500 milligrams of drug, flagell. Units will leave at mLs, package size. So this container has a final package size of 100. So we'll enter in the 100. So we're going to use the premix. So we're going to look for that premix bag. So that's your default info. You're going to save and then go to the ingredient tab. So we're going to look for either under flagell or metronidazole. I think it's under the generic. And there should be, maybe it's under flagell. Alright, I think that's it for mine. Metronidazole 500 milligrams / 100 ml bag, BG. So 500 milligrams / 100 ml bag. That's the one you want. Click OK. Make sure you get an NDC number for it. And then we're going to use the whole bag, 100 mLs. Alright, so there it is. So we don't have to put both ingredients. We just need the premix bag. So here it is in the bottom, and then this one's done. Just print screen this, and page 201 is done. Page 202, so in parentheses, that's the supply strength you want, and the volume here is the quantity you're going to enter in your ingredient tab. So the solution, they're all going to be that sodium chloride 50 mLs, so NS50 for all of them. This one, and this one's 1,000, so the next two, 50. So here's the drug name, this is the amount, so that's the final amount, so that's going to be the strength. So we're putting 55 milligrams of gentamicin into a 50 ml bag of NS. We're going to give it to them IVPB. All right, so new, we'll enter in that label name there on the second part. So that's gentamicin, 500 milligrams NS50. 55 milligrams, NS 50 mLs, IV piggyback. Quick code Gen 55, Genta 55. There you go. That represents GENTA 55. There you go. Shortened gentamicin 55 milligrams. Drug class RX. Item type compound. Gender both. Generic. And this is going to be infuse IVPV. That's it. Dosage form IVPV. Strength is 55 milligrams of gentamicin. Dosage form will make mLs for everything. Package size. So in this case, the container is the bag, which is 50 mLs. So that's the package size. All right. So that's the default. Double check it real quick. And then save to get to your ingredient tab. Next, first ingredient, gentamicin. We want the 40 milligram per ml strength. So we'll do new. So we got gentamicin, 40 milligrams per ml. 2 ml package size. So the most important thing is the 40 milligrams per ml strength. Gentamicin, 40 milligrams per ml in the strength column. We're not going to use the whole bottle. We're only going to use 1.375. Right, so that is the drug. Gentamicin, 40 milligrams per ml vial. Quantity 1.375. And then the next item is the IV bag, which is sodium chloride, 50. Same size as we used earlier. So sodium chloride, make sure it's 0.9. IV solution, 50 mLs. Here you go. And we're going to use the whole bag size, 50 mLs. Alright, so down at the bottom, that's the most important thing. Genta 40 per 1, 1.375, and then sodium chloride 0.9, 50 mLs. So Genta's done.
So print screen it?
Yeah, go ahead and print screen that guy. And then let's go ahead and do Zantac before we take a break. So Zantac 50, NS 50, IV piggyback. So new. Zantac 50 milligrams, NS 50 milliliters, IV PB.
Question, is it, it's not milligrams, it's milliliters?
For
The label name, you said it's 50, or does that say milligrams? Or-
yeah, this is mg. So
Oh,
Zant
sorry.
50 milligram
My
NS.
bad.
Yeah, the second one's ml. So there's both. There's 50 milligrams and 50 mLs in that line. Yeah, 50 milligrams Zantac, 50 mLs NS. 50 for 50. So put Zant 50 mg, Zantac 50 milligrams, drug class RX, item type compound, generic, default sig, infuse, IV PB. That's all they gave us. Dosage form, IV PB. Strength is 50 milligrams of Zantac in the final product. We'll leave these as mLs. Bag size is NS50, so the final product size will also be 50. Alright, double check your default name, quick code, RX compound, both generic. Here's a SIG. 50 milligrams. All right, everything looks good. Save it. And then go to the ingredient tab. All right, so the first drug we want is Zantac. Might have to look under generic, ranitidine. The strength we want is 25 milligrams per ml. Quantity will be 2 mLs. So we'll do new. RAN, ranitidine. Devin, Zantac too. Oh, let's try that. Tablets. Ooh. Okay. Zantac, Z-A-N. Oh yeah, they do. Okay, so there's a 2 ml vial. That's fine. Make sure you have an NDC number. What's that? Zantac?
Oh.
Yeah, so make sure the strength is 25 per 1, but the quantity is 2. We're going to use 2 mLs to deliver the 50.
And the package size?
There's a 2 ml one. We can use that one.
So the strength should say 58 milligrams / 2 mL.
Yes, that is a viable option. So our order for Zantac is 50 milligrams. Our supply comes 25 milligrams per ml. So the quantity we're going to deliver is 2 mLs. So that's where we got the 2 mLs here. So let's put that Zantac now in our IV solution. So our IV solution is sodium. Sodium chloride 50 again. Same bag. Make sure it's 0.9. We're going to use the whole bag, 50 mLs. Final container, 50 mLs. And just double check Zantac 2 mLs quantity, sodium chloride 50. Go ahead and print screen this. And then you guys can take a break. We'll finish the rest of them after break. All right, welcome back. So we'll continue on lab 33, only 4 left. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll skip the last one, page 205, so don't worry about it. It's just an IV push. So 203, MVI stands for multivitamin injection. So you're gonna get both water soluble and fat soluble in your IV. Pretty cool. It's gonna be an NS, 1 liter, IV at 125. And then the brand name is Infovite. So we'll see what it comes up as. All right, so MVI, NS 1 liter. MVI in NS 1 liter at 125 mLs per hour. I believe that was it. So we got MVI in NS 1 liter. IV at 125 mLs per hour. So I forgot the IV. There you go. So let's do MVI in NS. MVI NS 1 liter, 1L. Okay, all that fits. So MVI NS 1 liter. And then our default information. Drug class is RX. Compound. Generic. IV, so we're going to infuse IV at 125 mLs per hour based on the label name. Dosage form, IV. Strength, there's none. MVI, there's a bunch of them. We'll leave these mLs. Package size, the bag is 1 liter, so that's 1,000 mLs. And then 1 day. All right, double check your default info. 125 mLs an hour. And our bag size is 1,000. Go ahead and save it. And then let's look for our ingredients. So activate your ingredient tab. New ingredient. The first one, let's look under Infovite. INFU. So we have the adult vial. Either one's fine. You can use the bulk package or the single dose package. What's most important is the quantity. Sorry, it was 10 mLs for that one. So it doesn't matter package size, we're only going to deliver 10 mLs in the bag. All right, there's your first ingredient, Inflavite adult vial, 10 mLs of that. And your next ingredient is going to be the sodium chloride. And we want a liter this time, 1,000 ml. Make sure it's 0.9 and not 0.45. So sodium chloride 0.9%, 1,000 mLs IV solution. We're going to use the whole bag. Final product size, final container, 1,000 for quantity. And that's it. This one is done. So 10 mLs of MVI in 1,000 mLs of normal saline. Next drug is Levaquin. Strength is going to be 500 milligrams of drug in 50 mLs NS, IVPB. So supply strength, we'll look for the 25 ml. Levaquin 550. So do new Levaquin 500 milligrams NS 50 mLs. And this was IVPB. Double check. Levaquin 500 milligrams NS 50 mLs IVPB. Right. So here we can just put Leva 500 and then our default information. RX compound, compound, generic, infuse IVPB. Dosage form, IVPB. Strength, 500 milligrams of Levaquin. And we'll leave these mLs. Package size, NS50. So 50 ml is our final container size. All right, double check your default. If you think you're good, go ahead and save.
For the quick code, what did you put? Leva 500?
Yeah, Leva 500. No, I messed up here. Make sure you're in compound. All right, ingredient, first ingredient, Levaquin, 25 per. Leva. So we have tablet. There you go. There's the solution. No, that's solution. We want IV. Is that the solution now? Okay. LEVO. Is that the tablet? We want the solution. So, oh, that's the one we just added. Yeah, that's the one we just added. Okay, we have a solution. Okay, let's use the solution. They have a premix. I like that guy. 500 for 500 for 100. Now let's use that one. So there's a premix one. We'll just edit it real quick. So let's use the premix. 500 for 100. That sounds better. Look under levofloxacin. So I looked under the generic name. So levofloxacin, let's use premix. 100. And then we'll do premix. That makes it easier.
The package size?
Yeah, we'll have to change that to 100. Alright, that makes it easier for us. So we'll use the premix. So we'll use the Levaquin 500 for 100. And we're going to use the whole bag. And then all we have to do is change this to 100 and we're good. Alright, so we didn't have the IV vials or anything available. So we'll modify this one for the premix. So 500 in 100 ml.
Where did you find these? No, I understand, but the only one I see is like 25 milligrams.
Scroll down a little more. It's
And I
gonna.
see 500 milligrams, but it says 20 ml vial.
The tile is gonna look like this: Levofloxacin dash D5W500. So look for this title.
Slash 100 milliliters.
Yeah, just type in LEVO and then scroll down until you see this title: Levofloxacin D5W 500 milligrams.
And then what are we changing?
Change the package size. That's it. So package size here in the label name and the product. Oh, you're good. All right, so that looks better. So this one we changed the name here to 100 mLs IV piggyback. Package size is 100, and we're just going to use the premix bag. 500 per 100, right there. So just one ingredient for this one. So print screen that one. We're on to the last page. All right, Rosefin 500.
Wait, we're not adding the solution?
No, it's premix. So this one ingredient, the
Yeah.
manufacturer already put 500 milligrams in 100 mLs for us. Yeah. So we're just making the label, and we just slap it on the manufacturer's premix bag. That's it. All right, let's go to Rosefin. Rosefin 500 per 50. ROCEPHIN 500 milligrams per NS50. And that was IVPB, I think. Double check. And that was IV. Alright, so this is Rosef 500. ROCEP 500. Rosep 500. Drug class, all the default. RX. Both genders. Generic. Default. Infuse IV. Dosage form IV. Strength. Rosefin 500 milligrams. mLs for these guys. Package size is 50. The NS 50 ml. Alright, 1 day to expire. Alright, double check your default. Click save. Where does it need entry? Oh, item type compound. There you go. Save. Ingredient tab. First ingredient, Rosefin. So we're going for the vial. Might have to look under generic. Ceftriaxone. Rosefin, yeah, they do have a 500 milligram vial under Rosefin. Quantity, we'll just use the whole vial, 500. So that's the first ingredient, the drug vial. Next ingredient, the NS50. So we got the Rosefin 500 out of the way. Now we need the solution. So look under sodium, SODI, and the same one we've been using, 0.9, 50 ml bag. Oops, where is it? There we go. Using the whole bag, 50 mLs, final container, 50 mLs. And then that's it for Rosefin. 500 milligram vial, 500. Sodium chloride, NS 0.9, 50 mLs. One last one. This solution is a combination drug. It's both D5, 5% dextrose, and 0.45% salt. So we have to find the strength listing both 5 and 0.45 for that one. So it's MVI in D5 half NS, 1 liter, IV at 6C. MVI D5 half NS, 1 liter, and that's as good as my memory is. IV at 60 mLs per hour. IV at 60 mLs per hour. All right, everything looks to fit. So quick code, let's do MVI D5 and half, D5 half. So MVI D5 half, RX, compound, generic, infuse IV at 60 mLs per hour, since that's given. Form IV, strength, MVI, so there's no strength for MVI. We'll leave these as mLs. Package size, a liter, so that's 1,001. All right. Last one, double check your default. Save it, and then let's go to the ingredients. So first ingredient, Infuvite, 10 mLs, and then we'll look for the solution, 1 liter. INFU, looks okay. 10 mLs of this guy. And then your last ingredient will look under dextrose, DEXT, and then this column is the important column, the strength column. Make sure it has 5/0.45. So here I'm in the 5/045 category. I just gotta find the liter bag. So IV solution, not irrigation. You want 5%/0.45%, 1 liter bag. Dextrose 5, half NS, IV solution. We use the whole bag, 1,000. And then you're done. Infuvite 10, D5 half NS, 1,000. Right, so that's it for lab 33.